Everyone, finally came in. The much larger than I was anticipating box from Severin's Black Friday sale. Severin, man. I like a lot of the products they put out. I like a lot of the people who are behind that company, David Gregory, Andrew Furtado. Yes, Carl. I'm talking about Severin. It's my cat. But they really have to fix their fucking website, man. So, I wasn't going to order anything on actual Black Friday from Severin because I know that, with the exception of like one of their sales that I've been a fan of theirs for, their website shits the bed. It gets 404 or whatever error readings, and you can't do anything, and they just have not fixed this fucking website. So even when you can get through, you still, like, usually they have, like, free shipping after a certain price point, but this one makes you manually select it, like, at the top of the page where it's, like, hidden. You have to check out using PayPal, and that caused a big problem for me this time, so it's just their website, the search function is fucking horrible on their website. I think they actually just took off the search function for the website when I looked on Black Friday. So it's, they need to just go with Shopify or some other format, because whatever they're doing is not working. Like Vinegar Syndrome, which is probably more popular than Severin, at least I think they are, their site never has a problem, never a slowdown, despite thousands of people coming to order shit during their sales. Perfectly fine. But Severin just can't get their fucking act together. So I really wish they'd do that. And, there was obviously a lot of problems ordering on Black Friday, so supposedly there'll be a $20 gift code in this box. Supposedly, we'll see. Just as like a sorry for fucking up yet again, because we're Severin. But I really had a trouble, because the only reason I ordered for this sale is because there was a limited item I wanted. It was this signed book about the director of Cannibal Holocaust, Ruggero Deodato, because I'm a big Cannibal Holocaust fan. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite horror films. And so otherwise, I probably would have waited, because their limited edition stuff doesn't sell out as fast as Vinegar Syndrome's does. And even when they do, they always seem to have like random copies that just pop up out of nowhere, convention stock or whatever. It's almost like their fake limited scarcity kind of thing going on, maybe. I don't know. So I've learned that and also their 50% off or whatever their sale is, it's not as much of a deal, because unlike Vinegar Syndrome, where you can only get their slipcovers mostly from like them or Diabolic or something, Severin stuff, even with their slipcovers, even their limited editions, you can usually get them on like Amazon and like regular places. Sometimes even like Best Buy will have Severin. So there's not as much of a rush or a need to use that, and with all of their fucking problems between the shipping and the checkout and the site not working, for the most part, I'm just not ordering directly from Severin anymore when they have something I want. It seems like it's not worth it. I mean, I will, because they're going to give me a code, which is Carl's batting around tree ornaments, because I keep my tree up forever. But, it's... I mean, what happened this time is I tried to order this bundle that I wanted, which is going to be in this box. It's the Deodato bundle, where it hits the book, 2 of his movies, and I think an enamel pin. And my orders wouldn't go through. Finally, after trying... I failed the first night anyway. The opening, like, Friday at midnight or whatever, could not check out at all. Like, sometimes I could add something to my cart and it'd fail, whatever. The next morning, I was able to get through to the site, and the site seemed to be working. But then I tried to check out using a debit card, and it just would not go through. It would stall at, like, the PayPal check thing. And it ended up, like, hitting my account a bunch of times, only to get reversed. My bank thought there was fraud going on. They shut off my card. I had to call them to get it reactivated. A whole big fucking hullabaloo, at a time when I'm also, buying Christmas presents. So I kind of need my card to be working during that time so I can buy stuff. So finally, what ended up happening was my fiance ended up ordering it for me, and then I just Zelled her the money to reimburse her, because her card was able to go through for some reason. So I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but it is what it is. So anyway, without further ado, now that it's January, let me actually unbox this sucker. This is the first unboxing where I can actually use my Scream knife. You can kind of see it a little bit on the poster there. But this is the Buck 119. Now, the knife that's actually in Scream and on that poster, I think it's also on the Jason Takes Manhattan poster as well. It's the Buck 120. Well, Scream, it's a little bit modified. This is the Buck 119, which is basically the exact same knife as the Buck 120, except that it is slightly shorter and weighs a little bit less. But it's the same knife. And since I'm not going to be killing anybody with it, I don't really need the extra length or weight to it. I'm mostly just using it to like cut up boxes and shit. I just kind of wanted it because it's a cool knife and it's iconic around like different horror stuff. It's weird that it's on the poster for 2 Jason movies though, because Jason's not much of a knife guy. Like, he uses plenty of edged weapons and other, like, blunt instruments. But I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen him just use, like, a plain old knife on someone. I don't think so. But anyway, let's cut this ditty open. Hello, Sydney. Remember me? Hope that new Scream ends up being good. Careful with knives. Don't do what Donnie Don't does. Okay. And then, whenever you are done with your knife, make sure to sheath it properly so that it's not a danger to anyone. Knife safety. Okay. So let's see. Do we have the infamous packing peanuts that Severin always ships it in? Of course we do. They must have bought like 9,000 pounds of packing peanuts years ago, and they're still going through them, because who uses packing peanuts anymore? Alright, so let's see. First thing that's in here is Ballad of Blood. I cannot show the slipcover because it has a titty on it. But this is a Ruggero Deodato film. It's a recent film from like 2016. I've heard bad things about it, let's say that. But it is apparently loosely based on the Amanda Knox case, you know, where she was an American exchange student and her roommate was killed and then she was falsely convicted of it and all that stuff. There was recently another mainstream movie with Matt Damon called Stillwater that was kind of sort of based on it. But yeah, so Severin was always known for having these like super tight, flimsy slipcovers. This actually feels more like a Vinegar Syndrome slipcover. This feels like the same sort of like thickness and everything, so maybe they actually like upped their game and did one of the cool slipcovers. And this is what the regular cover of it looks like. So let's see. Special features on this. It is an interview with Ruggero Deodato, an interview with the author of a book called The Fatal Gift of Beauty, The Trials of Amanda Knox. So an author of an Amanda Knox book is interviewed here. An interview with a film historian, an interview with one of the actresses, and an interview with the executive producer. There's also behind the scenes and trailers. They don't put in here if anything is like restored, like 2K, 4K. Like usually Vinegar Syndrome lists that with like the special features, like what they've restored it in. This doesn't say what it was done. I think it was filmed in digital, so it's probably not a negative or anything, but yeah, that's that. Let's see. Oh, there is a card in here. Oh, and there is a $20 gift card in here. This is the front. Not going to show the back because it has my code. But it's treat this card like cash, cannot be replaced, expires November 29th of 2026. So I have a little bit to use this. I'm definitely not going to wait 4 years to use it, though. I will probably be using it rather soon because there's some stuff I didn't pick up in the sale. Stickers. I have so many fucking stickers from Severin. And then this was sort of the big of the movie releases. House on the Edge of the Park. This feels pretty chunky here. So sort of, I think it's the movie Ruggero did right after Cannibal Holocaust. It's sort of a kind of a knockoff of Last House on the Left, but it has the same star in it, David Hess. Again, the slipcover feels like a Vinegar Syndrome slipcover. It feels like that thick, nice cardboard. You got some embossing there. So, I mean, they've upped their slipcover game, so that's cool. And then the traditional, the more commonly seen poster artwork is there on the cover. So, does this say what it was? This says it's now scanned uncut in 4K from the original negatives. This actually says what it was then, but it was also shot on film. This is a 2-disc set. No, this is a 3-disc set. I stand corrected. So special features, there is an audio commentary by Bruce Holchek and Art Ettinger, not to be confused with Kat Ellinger. I assume there are people in the know about this type of movie. There's an interview with Deodato. There is an interview with the cinematographer. There's an interview with one of the actors. There's an archival interview with David Hess. David Hess passed away a few years ago. An interview with the set designer. And then on disc 2, there's a feature-length documentary, which I've heard of. I think this is screened at some film festivals, called Deodato Holocaust, and it seems to be about, it's an entire filmography retrospective of Deodato's work. Kind of like that De Palma documentary that came out, or Citizen Cohen, about Larry Cohen. These sort of like complete filmography documentaries that are based on like a major interview with the filmmaker, and they go film by film. I really love those, so I'm very interested to watch that. Like it's basically like a full other movie in here. And there's also deleted scenes in a trailer, and then disc 3 is the CD soundtrack. The CD soundtrack is by Riz Ortolani. So if you like Italian movies, you know that Riz Ortolani is one of the great composers of Italian exploitation films. So looking forward to listening to that as well. I like when they add a CD soundtrack. I mean, I don't really buy physical music unless it's vinyl nowadays, because everything, you can just kind of rip it off of YouTube. But I like when they include the soundtrack on CD, because then, I can power it up on my thing. My record player is like a bunch of things in one type of thing. So, yeah, cool. Very much looking forward to watching that and all of those features. And now if I continue to dig, I believe this is the book, which has been specially wrapped. Then there should be a pin in here as well. Let me see if I can find the pin. Ah, yeah, I can find the pin. The Severin Hall of Fame. The pin is much larger than I thought it would be. There he is. It's Deodato. Yeah. I've shown it in a few other videos. But I have this mannequin that I bought from a JCPenney that was going out of business. And I stole an idea from my local Alamo, where my local Alamo, they sell pins from Mondo, and they put like a mannequin head and they put a mask on it. It's an alien mask recently. It used to be a werewolf mask. And they put a denim vest on it, and they put pins. So I stole that idea. I bought a denim vest for my mannequin, and all of the pins that I buy and collect, I put on there. I'm running out of room on it now, so either I have to move it somewhere where you can see the back, and I can start putting pins on the back, or I need another mannequin, which would be a little crazy to buy for all these pins. But yeah, Deodato. Okay. Now I believe that should be everything in the box now. There shouldn't be anything else in here. I'm digging around in all the peanuts. That seems to be it. So, we'll see. I think I knocked my Halloween thing down while I was doing all this. Okay. So, let's get through. Yeah. Cannibal Holocaust and the Savage Cinema of Ruggero Deodato. This signed hardcover book, which contains disturbing material and is recommended only for mature audiences, according to the warning at the bottom, was going to be signed by Deodato. And since Deodato is getting up there in age and probably won't be going to any horror movie conventions that I go to, this seemed like it was the only way I was ever going to get his autograph on anything. So, let's see. No, it's so it's not the book itself that's signed. It's one of those like glued-in book plates, where I guess they give the little plate to the guy to sign, and then they glue it into the book, which is fine. It's still an autograph. So I have edition 451 out of 1500. That was the number I got for Ruggero Deodato's signature. So I guess this book was originally published in 1999. And then there was a second edition in early 2011 when he was working on a director's cut of Cannibal Holocaust. And then I think this is more... I don't think there's a director's cut. I think this is about... this is technically a British book. And the BBFC is notoriously very stingy on what they allow for violence, so I think they were just putting in the uncut version back then. The uncut version's been available in the United States forever. And this is the 3rd edition, which has been added to even further, which probably includes that Amanda Knox movie. Let's see. Yes, this is the revised and updated 3rd edition, which has a publishing date of November of 2021. So this is the brand spanking new version from Fab Press. Okay. Printed in the Czech Republic. I wonder what they thought of all these pictures. I'll have to find, see if there's any pictures in here that I can actually show, because there might be just, naked cannibal tribes people and other violence that I can't show, and a lot. I mean, there are some great pictures, and there's lots of interesting stuff to read in here, but yeah, this is a solid book. Let me see if there's something I can actually show. Anything I can... That's a fully nude woman. Can't show that. Something I can actually show. Nope, not that page. That page is nudity too. I can show this page. This has no nudity. No. Okay. I can show this page. This is a page of... looks like it covers the Profane exhibit, one of his later films. So I can show, yeah. You got lots of full-color, glossy images... and fairly small print. It looks like it's basically like it's a rundown of all the major cast and crew of the films, poster art, and then depending on the movie, there are different snippets of, commentary and whatever. Like this movie had a lot more than Profane Exhibit did. This is Father Hope, apparently a TV pilot for an unproduced series. And then obviously the stuff that gets, because it has all of his TV work in here too, Raiders of Atlantis, which I still have not watched. I got that in one of the previous, the Nuke the Meteor sale. It's called Atlantis Interceptors here, one of its other titles. But it looks like most, the sections that have the most written on them are House on the Edge of the Park and Cannibal Holocaust. So I would show you more pictures from it, but... there's a lot of nudity or gory stuff in here. Like, a lot of nudity. Like, damn, Ruggero. So, that is the packet. I got the Deodato bundle, basically. That was what I wanted of all the titles they were releasing for Black Friday. That was the only stuff I was really interested in. I wasn't interested in the Bigfoot movie or some of the other stuff there. And I was mostly interested in that book. That signed book was the thing that really caused me to pull the trigger, when otherwise, I don't really care too much about the pin because I'm running out of room for pin, but it's nice to have it. And the 2 movies, which I would have gotten eventually, but I would not necessarily have jumped on them if it weren't for getting the book and this bundle. So, that was the Severin Black Friday 2021 Deodato bundle that I got. And all of the packing peanuts. So, yeah, that's all I got for now. See you, everybody.